Welcome. So this program is multifaceted, and by now you've probably figured out that there are ways to be successful on this program by following the meals, and there are ways to be successful on this program by deviating from those meals and creating your own meals. Now, I will say that your success rate depends on the diligency and the consistency that you remain on the equation of the balance. And it truly is an equation. So what I'm going to present to you is a way that you can create this balance by creating your own meals. And truly, if you are someone that travels a lot, if you are somebody that has a job in which you entertain a lot, you find yourself eating at restaurants a lot, or you are grabbing and going, there's always a way to do this. And the primary focus should be on portions. Primary focus should be on you making sure that you are feeding and fueling yourself 3 to 4 hours in between meals. And if you are somebody that is on the go, traveling a lot, have a busy type job, or are carting kids around and really are finding yourself never home or able to make a meal, you are going to have to get used to packing those meals or navigating your way to creating meals while you are out. And this can very easily be done. And like I said, I'm going to show you how to do this. But the importance is the consistency and never letting yourself get hungry. If you go longer than 4 hours, you get into that 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. Now you are slowing your metabolism down, your blood sugars are dropping, and the second you see food, it's over. You're going to overeat, and you're going to have a meal that's too large. You're not going to be able to properly digest it. And what I mean by that is your body's not going to break down those nutrients properly, and you're never going to end this cycle. So with that being said, this is how you do it. So first thing, you received an essential chart, and I'm going to share my screen here and bring that to the surface so that you can see. So this chart is the most important chart for you. And on this chart, I have broken down proteins, carbs, and fats. These are the three main nutrients, macronutrient sources that I want you to focus on. Whether you're at home putting a meal together, whether you are out putting a meal together, whether you are stopping at a gas station, hammering something together. You need to have a protein, a carb, and a fat. And the reason that I have them highlighted here in red, blue, and white is because I want you to start making that mental image of the proteins all being red, much like meat is red, trying to get you to correlate. Your fats are always going to be white, just like fat is white. Think of actual fat cells being white. So that's that correlation. And then carbohydrates are going to be blue. And that's blue as in bread is blue, starts with B. So nonetheless, every one of your meals needs to have a mixture of red, blue, white. And when you have red, blue, white together, you get lavender. And there's a reason for this. No meal should be any other color. So if you are putting together a breakfast and you only have a protein and a carb, then that is purple. And that means you're missing a fat. And in that case, you need to add a fat. And so that would create the balance. And so let me give you an example. You're making yourself a sandwich. You have your bread, which is your carbs. You have your turkey, which is your protein. Normally people would assume, okay, this is a great lunch. I have, calories are there, because that's what we typically look for as calories. But you're missing a very important piece of this, and that's the healthy fat. So if we go down here and we look, we can see our choices, and our choices are all, we could put peanut butter on that sandwich, probably not the best choice, any kind of nut butter. We could have a side of nuts, so that's an option. Flax seeds, chia seeds, olives, put side of olives, that would be good. Egg yolk, so actually you could put an egg on that sandwich. Salmon, grapeseed oil, avocado would be good. Or avocado mayonnaise, or olive oil mayonnaise. So these are all healthy fats. So if you're wondering, well, how much should I use? On this handy dandy chart, it even tells you how much. So as a new member, just aim for 100 calories. 100 calories of healthy fat every meal. Your carbs, 100 to 150 calories of carbs every meal. So if you're wondering how much rice, 100, 150 calories. You want to know how much corn tortillas? Well, look at the corn tortillas. If they're 50 calories each, you get 3. If you want to know how many rice cakes, same thing. How much quinoa? Look at the box. If the box says half a cup is 150 calories, then you get a half a cup. So it does not matter. You get 150 calories of this. And then as far as the protein goes, same thing, 3 to 4 ounces for women, and 5 to 6 ounces is for men. So in this case, put on the food scale, you're going to see what that equivalent is. And when you see here the 20 to 25 grams of protein, we're going to save that for later, but that is the equivalent in grams of protein. But to start, I only want you worried about the actual portion. Okay, so this is how you will make your own meal. So let's do another one. I'm gonna make a salad. Fruits and vegetables, by the way, fall in the carbohydrates. I'm gonna have a big salad with all kinds of vegetables on there and maybe some fruit. So that's my blue. I'm gonna put some turkey meat on there. So that's my red. And I'm gonna put some cheese on there. So right away, people instantly think cheese is a fat. Well, I'm going to look here and wow, I don't see cheese on the healthy fats. So if you're stumped wondering, oh gosh, why is cheese not on here? It's not on as a protein either. Well, that's because cheese is not a healthy fat. Cheese actually falls in the non-essential ingredients list, which I will explain next. And as you can see here, we have non-healthy fats, which are your butters, your vegetable oils, your margarines. Coconut oil actually falls on there. Cream cheese, ice cream, half and half. These are all your unhealthy fats. And so even though you can have these, the cheese isn't going to count as a fat. So let's go back to this. I need to find a healthy fat for my sandwich. And so I have the cheese on there, but I'm going to still look for a healthy fat. So I'm going to put some avocado on there. So now my meal is lavender. All right. If you're going to Chipotle, you have your protein in your bowl. You have your carbs, which is your rice. And then you have your healthy fat, which is not the cheese. It's not the sour cream. It's going to be your avocado. And so again, if you're going to Chipotle, you can't get unlimited portion. Your portion size is going to be 5 to 6 ounces for men, 150 calories, men and women, and 100 calories of fat. So this is where your FitnessPal is going to come in really handy if you are eating out, or lean on me as well. because you can look on FitnessPal and break this down. So now let's look at this non-healthy, non-essential. Not that it's non-healthy, but it's not ideal. So we have a list of proteins here, and we have sausage, pork belly, bacon, chicken thigh, bologna, pepperoni, fatty lunch meat, and the list goes on. So these are sources of proteins, just as these carbs are carb sources. Your ketchup, your sugary cereal, fruit juices, sauce, alcohol, chips, candy, chocolate. And then we have your non-healthy fats. And like we discussed earlier, these are your fats from the cottage cheese and your fats from the yogurts and your palm oils, your lards, your regular mayonnaise. So anything that coagulates in the refrigerator, if you put any of these things in the refrigerator when they're in liquid form, they're going to coagulate. If they coagulate in the fridge, they're going to coagulate in your arteries. That is what classifies them as unhealthy fat. If you go back up here and you look at all of these sources, you could put these in the fridge all day long and they will not coagulate. Peanut butter will not coagulate either if it is all natural, which is the one that's all liquidy. So regardless, so as you add these non-essential ingredients, you have to dial those down, because one, your calories are going to go through the roof, and two, you're not going to lose weight this way. So if you decide you're going to have a brat with, no bun, but a huge beer and some cheese curds, you're not going to get very far in this. Okay. So that is primarily how you're going to create your own meals. Now, I realize that some of you who do not have access to a kitchen and who plan on eating out primarily for most of this are going to be really challenged with the choices and how to put this together. My recommendation is to focus on the red, yellow, red, blue, white in meals. If there are other ingredients in there, you can always ask for those things to be put on the side. You could ask for those things to be omitted. And from there, you can kind of create. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my Get You Fit restaurants guide, and I'm going to show you how I can kind of dissect a meal and make it fit into the equation. And remember, with all this being said, you do need to do this all and stay within your caloric limit. I assure you, if you are eating off of the essential list, you're more than likely, and staying within those caloric limits, you will be able to eat 5 meals a day at that and not go over. But as you add more non-essential ingredients, more cheese, more syrups, more ketchups, more non-essentials, that's where you're going to go over in calories. So as we trim the fat there, you will literally trim the fat elsewhere. Okay, so this is the Wine and Dine restaurant guide. It is about 27 pages long. There's tips and tricks, and definitely read it. There's all sorts of little things that you can do that you probably already know, but it's always good to be reminded. Get everything on the side. And that's a big one, because even though we may not think what they're putting on there is a lot, when it comes on the side, we're able to really see. So nonetheless, I'm not going to bore you with going through all of this, but nonetheless, in this, I have links to every restaurant along with the best things that you could eat at every restaurant. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, we have Panera, we have sushi, we have pizza, we have, and the list goes on. Okay, at the end, I have quick eyeball sources. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to one of these that has a visual of the calories and the fat and the carbs. Okay. Now, since you have somewhat of an idea of calories, carbs, and fat per meal, you could zero in on the caloric information on a restaurant and decide what is best for you. Okay. Now, if you go back to this essential chart, you'll notice that it says 20 to 25 grams of protein. Again, this is for women. So men, the amount is 35 to 45 protein. Carbohydrates, 30 to 40, fats, 15 to 18. And I can get this to you on a nifty difty little cheat sheet so that you know those numbers really well. So once you do know that, what you could do is zero in on something that is within that range. Now the fats are always going to be higher because this is counting the unhealthy fat along with the healthy fat. But what you want to really look at is something that is 30 grams of protein, 25, 30 grams of protein or more, but the carbs are 40 or less. So it's a mathematical equation, but I'm already seeing here, this one would be out because it's only 18 grams of protein, so I'm going to kick that one right out. This one is only 22 grams of protein. I'm going to kick that one right out. So what else do I see? 24 grams of protein. This is great, but the carbs are really, really high in this one. So this one's getting kicked out the window. I would actually do 2 sets of these because then I would have 22 carbs, 24 protein. So that's looking pretty good. This is another one that's pretty good. So, you pretty much have to mathematically add up what is good. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is some of the sites such as Chipotle, and I'm bringing this one up because I know it is a popular one. You get the full menu here, but you can see what each add-on is. And so what you could do is basically create your own little go-to burrito bowl. It would only take once to figure out the ideal burrito bowl and make that your go-to, or ask me. And I will create you the ideal burrito bowl, because then every time you go, you could switch up the meat, you could switch up the the salsas, but that this is going to not only be of the right calories, but of the right balance. So on final note, don't be fooled. This is not about the calories. This is about the consistency. This is about not allowing yourself to get hungry. So if you need a helping hand in figuring out things to grab and go at gas stations, there's a lot of things you could throw together at a gas station. 2 hard-boiled eggs, beef jerky, nuts, bam. It is not about bars. It is not about, always drinking protein shakes. Real food. Your body needs to digest because part of that is energy. And it will digest in time for your next meal. And that is exactly what we need to happen to get your metabolism going. Okay, so best wishes, good luck, and reach out. I'm here to help.